Hello, lovely souls. Welcome back to the Awakening to Your Soul Self podcast. I'm so excited for this guest. We've already been chatting, and her energy is just so good, so powerful. Her name is Bethany Shelton. She's the founder of Be Limitless Now. She's a transformational speaker, energetic awareness guide. Welcome, Bethany. How are you?
I am absolutely divine and great and just excited to be here to be able to share not only my story but my energy and my heart with your audience.
Thank you so much. The first question I ask everybody is tell us a little bit about yourself and your spiritual awakening journey. Or if you haven't had one, I have a multitude of guests. And I just believe that every journey is different, whether it's a spiritual awakening, whether it's just quote unquote journey. And then we'll get into some other questions because I am really sorry for your story, but I feel like there's
Oh
a
no, no,
beautiful
no, 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 no.
ending.
I haven't lost anything. I have gained so
You've
much. So
gained.
yes, so okay. Everything that I'm gonna share with your audience today is everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. Before 2020, girl, I had no awareness about energy, frequency, and
Yep.
vibration. I'm talking about 0, girl, none. I was stuck in my program. I was just stuck in my world doing my thing. And so, what happened in 2020? I have an amazing son. His name is Cavan. In 2020, my son was killed instantly. A car crossed over into his center lane, hitting him head on, killing him instantly. And girl, it doesn't matter how much of the healing. When I get to this, there's a part of me. There's a part
Yeah.
that just goes, but when my parents came and told me that Kevin had been killed, just like now, my heart dropped. I absolutely collapsed. The first thought is like, oh my God, I felt like I had failed him. I wasn't able to protect him. I was just, number one, shocked and just so a pain. I let out a scream that my body has not been able to reproduce and never will, I don't believe, in that moment. It was the day of the funeral, and I'm in my son's bedroom. I'm on my knees, and I call out to God, Source, please send me some kind of sign
Mm.
that Cabin is okay. I'm walking away from the burial, and it's a cloudy day. And my best friend of 37 years has my arm, and she's walking me back to the car. In that moment, she taps me. She said, Look. I looked, and in that moment, the clouds parted and a rainbow popped through. There was my sign.
That's this beautiful sign.
I fell to my knees. I did not understand how big that sign was until a little bit later on in my healing journey. That first year, girl, that first year, I'm not gonna lie to you and you guys. I mean, I ride street motorcycles. I ride street bikes. I'm an adrenaline junkie. I
Mhm.
would get on the back of my motorcycle, put my helmet on, and I can remember the screams that came through my helmet. I would take that motorcycle up to 135 miles an hour. I thought it would be
Wow.
easier for me to wrap myself around a tree than it would be to have to wake up another day without my baby. I meant that.
Right.
But something started to take place. I started to receive downloads. Now, what I mean
Yeah.
by downloads, I was receiving information and all I heard was write it down. I started writing all this stuff down. I did not understand what I was writing and what the data and the
Right.
information and what it was, but I just wrote it down. Just up until a few months ago, girl, I would go back and read those journals, and what I was
I
receiving
love.
blows me out of the water. But let me rewind a little bit back. My son studied, he was going to college for astrophysicist. The military had came to him and he, with a contract after he did the ASVAB, he scored the top 1% of the top 1%. And they came to
Wow.
him with a contract of nuclear physicist. So Cavan studied all of
Mhm.
this. He studied everything, quantum physics, quantum mechanics, quantum entanglement, anything with the biology, pathology, all of this stuff. But I started to receive these downloads, and I had one night I was awoken at 3 check this out, at
Oh,
3:30 yeah, awoken at 3:33 in the morning and told me to go outside. So, all right, here I go.
yep.
I sit outside, and I'm sitting there, I'm just there, I'm listening to the trees, listening to 'cause at the time I was living on a lake, and I was just listening to the frogs and everything. All of a sudden, this golden orbed being flies in and flies down the 13-acre lake and back. And girl, if I had have seen it with my own
Wow.
eyes, I would have never believed it. But in that moment, I felt something within my body shift. I was like,
Yeah.
and it was a energy, a presence of absolute compassion, something I could not recreate in a human form. Something started to take place.
Yeah.
After that, I was sitting on my couch one morning, and I was like, this was still in that later part of that first year. I'm sitting on my couch, and I was like, damn, I gotta go get in the shower. So I go pull my shower curtain back, and girl, I look inside of my tub, and there are coins inside of my tub. Now, I don't know about you or your audience. I know for myself, I don't shower with, pockets with coins in them. I pick up one of these coins and it had my son's death year on it, 2020. I picked it up, and at the time I wasn't conscious or aware. I was like, okay, that's interesting. Well, several days had passed. I
Yeah.
get up out of the bed as I normally do, make my bed that night. Girl, I come pull my sheets back, and what do I find inside of my
Another
fridge?
one.
Coins. I'm like, now this is really kind of odd. Well, fast forward 2 weeks. I'm at my house vacuuming my whole house. Go put the
Yeah.
vacuum cleaner up, come back into my living room, and I look on my freshly vacuum floors. And what do I find? You got it. Coins.
Coins.
Now, these coins were not just here. I just vacuumed this floor.
Yep.
So
I've had
so
those
I
stories. Yep.
yeah, so I picked the coin up and it had my son's birth year on it, 2000. I said, "Man, something's going on here." I pick up the phone and I call my mom. I was like, "Mom, something is going on. I am finding coins all over my house." She said, "Oh my goodness, Bethany, your father and we are finding coins all over our house too." I said, "What?" She said, "I think it's Cavan." I said, "What?" Girl, I hung up the phone. I ran out onto my patio, onto my deck. I called out. I said, "Hey, Kevin. Hey, buddy. Hey, hey, hey. It's mom. Hey, hey, hey. If you don't mind, if this is you trying to communicate with me, hey, can you show up for me like maybe a blue bird or a red bird?"
Yeah.
Girl, the very
It
next
happened.
the very next day, everywhere I turned, there was a blue jay or a cardinal. Everywhere I turned, I was being stalked by these birds. I said, "Oh my goodness. Yeah, this boy's trying to communicate with me." That night, I had a dream. He came to me and he said, "Mom, I'm going to need you to do something." What?
Okay.
I mean, I'm totally blown away at this point. Like, my whole reality, what is going on here? He said, "Mom, when I was in my body," he called it his concrete shoes. He said, "Because mom, when I'm in the body, it's like wading through concrete."
Yeah.
He said, "Mom, when I was in my body, you and I vibrated on the same frequency, kind of like how you and I are." He
Yep.
said, "But mom, when I returned back to spirit, back to soul, back to energy, I rose in frequency."
Yeah.
He said, "But mom, you dropped because you went into grief, sorrow, blame, shame, hurt, guilt."
Yeah.
He said, "Mom, do you see the distance? You see the how much it is distance for us to be able to communicate? I'm gonna need you to do something about that. Go research it." Girl, so I did. Here I go off on a journey.
Yep.
Well, what I found is that we all have an electromagnetic field.
Yes.
The field precedes you 6 to 8 feet out, 360 degrees around you.
Yep.
So your thought processes, your thinking, your thought, think of your brain as an antenna that you are broadcasting out into the quantum field. Each thought carries a frequency that you are
Yes.
projecting out. So if you do not have your thoughts, your mind, your mindset in harness, and you're just allowing your mind to think, do whatever it wants,
Yeah.
you have on an energy frequency vibration level, you have no idea what you are doing. Because
Right.
I found that when I was in grief vibrates at like 75 hertz. Sorrow vibrates at like 50 hertz. Girl, guess where death vibrates at? 0 hertz. When I was thinking these thoughts, and I call them lower aspects of frequency, when I
Okay.
was thinking these, I was projecting that into the field. But what was it doing to my electromagnetic field? What was it doing to what people, your aura?
Yes.
When I was in those, my electromagnetic field was collapsing in on me,
Yeah.
putting the body into fight or flight, putting my body to in a frequency vibrating right next to death. You cannot heal when you are in that state.
Right.
So I had to go and take even a deeper dive. So, okay, think of it like your mind. Like I said again, that's your antenna. Well, guess what you're walking around, girl. You are walking around here with the biggest piece of technology this world has ever seen. But you have been told, taught, and made to believe that it is only pumping blood through your body. Ha! Your heart is the biggest powerhouse in this world. Your heart has
Yeah.
more electrical charge, more electricity running through it than a bolt of lightning. You have over 40,000 neurons within this heart. This heart is your magnetics. This is what's going to pull an experience to you. This is, yes, there is more data being sent from the heart to the mind than the mind to the heart. So let's just recap on that. There's more data being delivered to your mind than your mind to your heart, but you have not been told to connect with
Yeah.
the biggest piece of what? What?
Right. Wonder-
S- I had to really start to figure out, oh my God. Number one, my biggest transformation is how can I honor my son? How can I honor his
Yeah.
legacy? My son, you know, taught me that I was, so much about energy, frequency, and vibration. What legacy was I giving him by mourning? Isn't that's a whole different, I could go off on a whole different thing about spelling. You're spelling words, you're casting spells, you're broadcasting through your words, through your thinking mind, because what you put out is what you get back. You remember when we
Yes.
were kids, you would say, I'm rubber, you're glue, whatever. But that is so true. That is so true. And so if you are out here not harnessing your assets, your tools, and the tool in this reality is the body. The
Yeah.
body is what is experiencing the reality. The body is what eats the food. The body's what wears the clothes. The body's what drives the car. But you are an infinite being. You are the spark. You are the
100%.
soul. It's the body going through the reality. Your body is 10 times your body is so conscious and aware of the reality, but the mind is not. Your mind will lie to you. Your mind will manipulate you. Your mind will spin you out and have you on a what I like to call the Kentucky Derby spin out,
Ooh.
on a
Yeah.
pain loop, on a storytelling of
Yes.
and it doesn't even have to be real. But when you connect to your heart, to the body, guess what that does? That brings you to presence.
Yeah.
When you stop your analytical thinking mind because it's going everywhere, it's doing all kinds of bullshit, and you're tired of how your life is showing up for you. I'm going to give you two big keys on how to transform your life. It just blows me away. So when you catch yourself thinking a thought that you truly do not wish to think or experience, shut the
Yeah.
mind off for that moment.
Yes.
Connect to that heart. When you connect to the heart, that brings you to presence. When you get brought to presence, you have choice. What I mean by choice, you can either choose to react or respond. What's the
Yeah.
difference? Reacting is doing the same thing over and over, how you've always done it because it's pretty much the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. That's
Yeah.
that's programming. But responding is showing up through awareness, through choice. Okay, this is what's being shown to me, but I'm going to choose something different so I can have a different outcome. I'm gonna choose a different thought, choose a different emotion. What is an emotion? An emotion is energy in motion, emotion.
Yeah.
So you are the most powerful being in your reality, but you have been taught, told, made to believe that you're not,
Yeah. Totally. Isn't that crazy?
isn't it?
It is crazy.
Do you think it could have been done by design?
I think it's just part of human society. I think what I have heard from the angels is that God universe first gave us a few things. Free will, everyone has gifts, and then everyone can communicate with the other side. I believe that we all have the free will to choose whether we do A, B, C, D, what as
Mhm.
many choices as possible, but we're always aligned on our path. And going off with your emotions and your thoughts that you were talking about, Archangel Jophiel really came through the other day. Taking your fears, worries, and doubts and turning it into something positive, making something make it something beautiful instead of that lower vibration of a thought. For example, she always is telling me, take that fear, worry, and doubt and turn it into what could be the best case scenario. Because for me and my anxiety, I think of worst case scenario, of everything. So she says, let's turn it into best possible outcome. When you have those fears, worries, and doubts, acknowledge it and let it flow down the river. I also do worry ceremonies with Archangel Michael, which I basically get into my safe place and I just say, Archangel Michael, I just need to release all these lower vibrational thoughts and emotions. So I just wanted to bring that across if anybody, is experiencing lower vibrational thoughts or emotions that you can work with your angels to release them and relieve them. Also, Bethany has other tools as well.
Yes. Here's the thing is that thoughts carry energy. They are energy. They are
Yeah,
frequent. Like I told you before, the body's what's experiencing the reality. So these energetics, these energies get stuck within the body, within the tissue, within the fascia, within
yeah,
all of it. What I do with my clients is we go in and we do an energy clearing of the body through
beautiful.
all space, place, time, and dimension. If I could do a would you think your audience would be acceptable to having a clearing?
Yes,
All right. All right, we're gonna do one for for mental overstimulation. So, because that's where, that's I'm finding that with me and with a lot of my clients, they're coming in with that worry, that stress, that
yes,
all right, so if I could get you to take a really big deep breath in. We're going to call up the energies that are aligned that react, constrict, and attract to the frequency of hurt, stress, worry, anger. Anywhere grief has settled within the body, anywhere grief has settled in the chest, the throat, the stomach, everywhere grief has tangled itself within the body, being or reality. Yes, all of the blame, all of the shame, all of the what
mhm,
ifs. Yes. Only if I had of all of that and should haves, yeah, all of those
yeah,
programs. Yeah, all the inherited belief that say grief must last forever. Worry must last forever. Shame, yes. All of the social programming that says that you should be further along than you are. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. All the expectations that you ought to be somewhere and you're not. Yeah. All the judgments. Anywhere the nervous system believes pain must stay to prove. Yeah. That you're loved? Yeah. We're going to cancel, cut, and clear through all time, space, place, dimension, density, reality, parallel reality, omniverse, multiverse, universe. Add on three and it leaves. One, two, three.
wow. Just a difference, I already feel it.
Mm-hmm.
In our bodies, we hold so much. We don't realize how much our bodies hold
Well,
emotion, especially if you're like an empath like me. Like I have found that I carry people's emotions, not even realizing it until like I try to go to bed and I'm like, I just feel so.
okay. Well, I know, I call it hitchhikers, but let me give you a visual. Okay. I have a story for this and how, so all right. Last year, I took my family to Florida. A family, kind of like a family reunion. We get there, and like my uncles and we all got our coolers on the beach. And for the first 3 days, we didn't go anywhere. We were all there. We had already brought everything that we needed. Well,
Heck yeah.
yeah, on that 3rd day, my aunt comes to me. She said, "Bethany, I'm out of hot dog buns. Do you mind going?" "Sure, sure." So I get in the car, girl. I'm excited because I know what my aunt's potato salad's fixing to be like. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yes." I'm getting to the store. I pull up to the store, girl. Nobody's there. I was like, "Yes, this is gonna be so easy." I go in. Now, I don't know if your audience, has a reality like my audience, but girl, my reality was realitying. To the bread aisle, I look up and now there are 8 people that I have to
Wow.
now shimmy and shake to get around. Well, guess
Mhm.
what? I get the hot dog buns, put them in the cart. I get to the other, now I'm having to bump up. Excuse me, excuse me. Now, guess what? Before I bumped up to these 8 people, guess what they
Mhm.
met first? They met my electromagnetic field. They met that
Mhm.
proceeds 6 to 8 feet out. So they met my energy field before they ever met the body. Now, what happens if you shimmy and shake next to Debbie Downer, Trainwreck Thomas? What
Yeah.
what's gonna hop off in my field? Mhm. Yeah, because that's exactly what happened. I went and paid for the hot dog buns. I get out to the car. Somebody pulls out in front of me. Now I'm pissed.
Now you're
Now
oh,
I'm aggravated. I am frustrated. How dare you? I'm cussing. I am agitated. Now remind you, before I went into the grocery store, I was fine.
yeah, you were all high vibes.
Yeah. Now I am absolutely pissed off. I mean, and then all of these low frequency thought
Mm,
forms. Now I'm spinning out. By the time I got to the house, I had already learned, yep, I picked something up in my electromagnetic field.
yeah,
If I was not aware enough, I would have carried all of that thought processes, all of that energy
yes.
into my house and spewed it all over my family. Wonder why my family would have been all of a sudden aggravated, agitated, frustrated. Well, yeah, I would love to share a tool with your audience on
Yes, please.
how to clear your energy field.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Before you, especially when you get come out of these big collective energies, grocery
Yeah.
store, supermarket, whatever the case may be. I do this so many times in a day. But I just know when you work with energy and you see all of because we've been told that you have to see it to believe it. But baby, there's so much.
No, no, no.
We only see 2% of the light spectrum. You are walking around here blind as a damn bat thinking you see something when there is a whole world through different color light spectrums, through different frequencies, through different vibrations that these beings, things, yeah. Here's what you do. You take a big deep breath in. Any energy that is not of my most benevolent outcome must move in all 7 trillion miles out on 3 and it leaves. 1, 2, 3. Now, by universal and cosmic law, they have to move out of your electromagnetic field. They cannot stay. Because when you command and demand your field, your aura,
Yep.
everything, it has to. That's how this reality works. Yeah, that right there is a very that is a
That is a beautiful
yes.
tool.
Yes.
Yeah, my little ritual is in the showers. I let the water run down, and I say, "God, universe, source, just take any emotion, feelings, thoughts that aren't mine and wash them away." And then I let that happen. Then I go, "God, universe, source, please fill me up with energy that is for my highest good."
Yes, girl.
Then
And
throughout the days, I do like deep breaths and just like kind of like close my eyes, just like recenter because I do work in a school system, so I am surrounded by a lot
yes.
of emotions.
Yes.
But the end of the day shower is really what's like
Well,
icing on the cake.
isn't that interesting too? Because water is programmable. You can program water. Dr. Emoto, there's scientific research that backs this up. I don't know if you've seen this research.
I have
What it,
not, no.
yeah. So this is absolutely fabulous. So they took a petri glass, dish, and they filled
Yep.
it with water. Now they showed an image of the words love to the water. They set the
Mhm.
glass on top of Then they
Yeah.
froze the image. They froze the peach tree dish. Girl,
Yeah.
when the water froze, the word love was frozen inside of the water.
What? I have to look at this. This is
Yes,
amazing.
Dr. Moto. Yes. So water carries data. When you're working with the organics, that is so funny because I have a lot of people call me and be like, Bethany, what's going on with these data centers? I found it hilarious because these data centers is the housing for dark technology, the black screen, which is your cell
Yes.
phone, which is,
Right.
you know, TVs, computers. But the original the sources, the organic, the data centers is the water. Because what's interesting is that water, okay, what do you call the flow state of water? A current.
Yes.
Current. Well, what do you get when you stand in front of a large body of flowing water? You Large body of water is a sea of water, right?
Right.
All right. A large body of flowing water is currency, the currency.
Oh,
What happens when the currency is flowing? Where does it flow? It flows to a bank.
right. Isn't that oh my gosh, that's so amazing.
Yeah, it flows to the bank. So by you standing on the bank of a large body of water, you are receiving currency to absorb. It's so interesting, girl. Yeah. It's funny how what do you call the bottom of your shoes? You call them the
Oh,
soles. The
yeah.
sole. What do you think would be the most I get my clients, I'm like, "How do you think you can recalibrate the body?" And they're like, that thing, I don't know." I'm like, "Well, how about if we take the sole of your
Yep.
shoes off and go stand on God's creation, which is the earth,
Yes.
so you can receive his son, SUN, so you can recalibrate to the
Yeah.
frequency of his creation."
Yes. So, funny about that is, I'm a certified angel Reiki master teacher. My mentor, Julie Jancius, she taught us this oneness meditation. And the
Uh,
beginning of the oneness meditation is you take your shoes and socks off and you feel your soul's feet on the ground and the roots go deep into the earth and bring back God, universe, sources, energy all up through your body. I always tell people you feel a difference when you go meditate outside or if you meditate inside,
mhm.
and whether your feet are in the ground or not. I think it's also with plants as well. Like if you give your plants loving, positive reinforcement, it flourishes
That's
better.
yeah. Wow,
But
this is
if
a great
but
conversation.
if you don't, it doesn't. Like
We
it's
did
everything is energy, and I always tell people your words are energy. There's specific words that you'll say, and they just feel different. It's like a brick wall has hit me sometimes with those lower vibrational words.
Yeah, so I work with a nonprofit called LightNet. We did an experiment. We went to schools and gave them 3 plants, 3 different plants. Now
Okay.
each plant was they all 3 had the same, a pot, same dirt, same, 3 just 3 plants just alike. We told the kids to go to the first plant and tell the plant, "Oh my god, I love you so much. You're amazing. God, everything positive." We told them to go to the second plant and totally ignore them. Don't say a word to it.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Go to the third plant and tell it how much it's despicable, you're fat, you're ugly, you're
Mm,
disgusting. And girl, because like you said, your words carry a vibration. Though you
yes,
the first plant, oh my god, girl, thriving, vibing, I
I
mean,
bet.
just flourishing. Second plant, not so much. It was starting to get the little, drooping,
Tilting a
yeah,
little bit.
wilted. And then that third plant, it just was like dying in. It just absolutely it didn't last long. So we showed the kids by just if a plant can receive that, what do you think a human? What does it do
Yeah.
to the human? It does the same thing.
Right.
Just the same thing. So it's interesting. I program my water, I program my cells, I program the body by talking to the cells of the body. It's so
Mm.
interesting. We weren't taught any of this stuff,
No,
any of it. So I've got a great question for you.
sure.
When your abilities came online, how'd that look for you? What kind of experiences have you had working with your teams, and how do you guide, your audience and how they can connect?
Yes. So I always felt like I could feel energy. I just thought everybody could.
Mhm.
But I remember there was this one time where my family friend and my mom went to go see a psychic medium. And girl, I would not go inside. I said I couldn't. I'm like, I can't. There's just something about the house. I can't go
Yeah.
inside. And years went by and I finally went inside and I was like, oh, okay, the energy doesn't feel as bad as it did years ago. Like, I don't know what the story was, but I finally went in and I was like, he's like, you have these abilities. And I was like, shh, girl, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you're making it up. Then for years on years, I didn't go to any psychic mediums. I was just like, I don't wanna know, like, that stuff back then. Then the energies was just too heavy for me. Then 2020, COVID hit, my anxiety was really at the lowest point, and 2022, I just kept coming home, and I said, "God, like, I feel like I'm here for something else." Like, I do love helping people with their technology, I think that's one of my purposes, but I think there's something else. I would ask for months on end. 2022, later a couple months later, I was cleaning my room for my spring cleaning like I always do. I don't love to be in a quiet space, so I usually play music. I just had this thought, don't play music, go put on a podcast. I said, I was like, wait a second, me? Like, I don't, music's my jam. I
Mhm.
kept hearing it 3 or 4 times. I said, all right. I didn't even have the podcast app on my phone because that was like one of the first things I deleted off my iPhone. Downloaded it and did Angels or Spirit or something. That's when I found my mentor, Julie Jancius. I listened to the first, I think, a minute or so, and I had this light bulb moment come up. Then my thought came through again, which hindsight is 2020 with Spirit. He said, that's part of your purpose. So from
Yeah.
then on out, I started listening to her podcast, ended up getting her book, doing her mentorship, and getting certified. All of my gifts came online so vastly that now I can start to understand the difference between my egoic mind thoughts or my regular day thoughts versus spirit. I'm starting to feel things a lot more. I'm slowly starting to develop my other gifts. Uh, so, what I try to teach my audience is that take things day by day and just like grow with them
Mhm.
because they are with you throughout this lifetime and many, many, many lifetimes.
Mhm.
So, even though there are going to be days where you get frustrated, and you don't understand what you're receiving, but you just find the tools that work for you. That's where it really sparked this podcast is that I want to help others find the people and the tools that resonate with them.
Right.
Because if I didn't listen to that thought, would I still be where I'm at 5 years ago?
Yeah.
So, and then this season, they came through and said, talk about emotions and energy and how the vibrations feel differently. Because for me, they all feel different. All the chakras feel different. Everybody's energy and arc feels, they all feel different to me.
You
That's
know,
kind of where my gifts are going is to try to teach along the way, but also guide people to find their purpose, find their what resonates with them.
yeah, that's similar. That's what I assist to is I have a program is the 4 keys of transformation. What it is number 1 is we gain control of the mental body.
Yeah.
Gain awareness. Gain
Yes.
awareness of what it is you're thinking, because what you think about, you bring about. What you bring about, you're gonna experience.
Mm.
So we get that. Number 2 is the heart connection and how big that is. When we
Yeah.
activate that, yeah, get ready, because when you get that heart connection, that's when you're gonna have that connection and communication
Mhm.
with the other, with your teams, with your guides. Then the fourth part is the self-discovery. I go in and uh, I work with your teams. We calibrate
Okay.
and get a game plan, because you might have back doors, trap doors, portals, you might have oaths, contracts, rituals, agreements, said and
Yes.
unsaid, known and unknown, heard and unheard, that through all time space that you might have not remembered in a past lifetime, that you said, that you'll always remember and never forget. So you'll always recreate it so you never forget.
Yeah.
When people come to me, that's what we do. We get you connected, and really start to get you to transform the body, so you can have and lock the body down where these
Yes.
other beings, other things cannot come in. And like, if you've ever been unconscious, if you've had surgeries, yeah, that's like putting a car on the side of the road with the windows down, with the keys in it, with the radios blaring, saying, "Hey, anybody can come drive. Anybody can hop into that, that vessel," because the consciousness was not there. So there's a lot, you know, goes in, and
Yeah.
you connected back to the team. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So for me, I have a couple of different offerings where one is Angel Reiki. So it's basically Reiki, but with the working with their teams and bringing through messages. So we help clear out any blocked energy and fill it back up with high vibrational energy. Then I do angel readings, which I call in our other teams. We start to talk about what paths they could have, who's on their team,
Yeah,
any messages that they
yeah.
need, because, like I said, I think we all have these gifts. It's just, do we want to tap into them?
Something that I'm finding so interesting, girl, is like, because there are so much plasma light coming onto the planet right now, the sun's flaring, it is sending out so much that you can literally, well, especially us that work with energies, and work. This is our job. I know when this comes onto planet, I can feel it, sense it, I gather it, I read the energetic
Yeah.
signature of it. But I mean, we've never as a humanity has not experienced the level of plasma
Nope.
light being bombarded onto this planet right now. The Schumann resonance, the frequency of Mother Earth is registering at a numbers that
Yeah.
have never been registered. So, at this time, it is so important to be compassionate with yourself, to feel yourself, to know, to really step into those higher frequencies of,
Yes.
the highest is being just grateful for every experience what you're experiencing, because guess what? You've never done anything wrong. Never.
Yep.
We've all come here for a human
Yes.
experience, for feelings. So
Yes.
everything that you're experiencing is for your soul's evolution, for your own growth.
100%.
So there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong
Nope.
about it. Being grateful for it all, being compassionate, showing the love. Not, I mean, once you show it, because everything you see out here is really what's going on the inside. So if you want to see a change,
Yeah.
you have to be the change. In which,
100%.
yeah, there's nothing to fix out here. It's all here. It's all here. Where attention goes, energy flows. So being conscious and aware, and being very aware of what you give your attention to.
Yeah. I always say what you put out, you get. You're
Yep,
basically
that's
a magnet.
yeah, that's that. I'm rubber, you're glue. You know,
Yeah.
and what it is, isn't it interesting? What is a hue, man? A hue is a fractal piece of light. That a hue, a color of
Yep.
a
Yep.
spectral. So what type of reflection as a hue, man, are you putting out there? Are you reflecting the higher aspects, the love, the joy, so you can get that reflection back? Or are
Yeah.
you in the stress? Are you on the hamster wheel? Are you spinning the heck out? What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? And what are you choosing? Are you choosing
Exactly.
to be the victim, or are you choosing to stand in your powerhouse of that heart? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start to become the creator of your reality with source and your creator. Yeah.
100%. What I like to put out is like Bethany was saying, you're not doing anything wrong because I can tell you I've asked my spirit team probably 100 times. I don't know if you've asked this to your son, but I've asked this to my grandpa. I said, "Grandpa, if I ask to spend time with you, am I taking you away from someone else?" They said, "Nope,
No.
that's not possible on the other side. We
Mm-mm.
can be in multiple places because of our high vibrational frequency." I just felt like I had to put this in this episode for some reason. I think it must resonate with somebody, or somebody needs to hear that message, because don't feel like you can't ask for help from your spirit team, whether it be a loved one, whether it be an archangel or an angel, whatever. Ask for the help. I've even asked for a parking spot. I'm like, "Can you get me a parking spot close to the door because XYZ?" Or, "I've never been to this place before. Can you be in the car with me as we go?" Things like, I swear,
Girl,
the littlest mirror. I think everything's a miracle. I ask for the
it
littlest
is.
things
It
because,
is.
and our angels and our guides and our loved ones, spirit team, they want us to ask for help.
Well,
They
that's so
can't
amazing.
help until you ask for it.
That's exactly right, because they are here, they cannot come in and assist until you ask, because that would come in on the free will. They're not here, but if you ask for the assistance, if you
Yeah.
ask, then they can do exactly that. I'm going to tell you what, everything in your world is a message. It's funny that you said that about grandpa. Will you ride with me? Because I did that to Cavan one day. I was like, "Hey, buddy. Hey, 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 it's mom again. Hey, it's mom. Hey, hey, I'm going on this hour trip. Come
Yeah.
on, hop in the car and ride with me."
Mm.
Girl, now in my car, I have a sunroof.
Yep.
I had to stop counting at 22 birds. Now I'm talking about, they flew, I'm talking about right on top above
Like you could see them.
right here. I only could find them in my sunroof. Not to the left, not to the right. 22 flew right over
Oh
the top of my car
gosh.
the whole hour ride home. I had to quit at 22. I was like, "Oh my god, this is crazy." My son flew in the radio songs that played during
Played.
that.
Oh, I
Oh,
love when that happens.
oh, absolutely blows me away, and it's just hilarious. But you have to be open.
Yes. That's a big thing I tell my clients. You have to be open.
You have to be in that state of presence, not in the mind, back into that heart. So you're present and aware, because that's where the connection and communication is, in the present moment. It's not in the future. It's not in the past. It's being locked in the present now moment, the infinite now. So you can get that connection and communication.
Yeah.
When you do that enough, yeah, then you'll start getting downloads. You'll start getting at least for me,
Signs, the messages, everything.
I have the telepathic communication. I can call Cavan up just like I'm talking to you right here, right
Yep.
now. Now, for me, I do not channel. I do not allow anything to come in the body, but I do connect with my teams, my galactics, my angelics, my indigenous, my ancestors.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty amazing. It's very amazing.
It is so amazing. The big message is everyone can do it. They just need to tap in. I hate and I don't like when people are like, "Only you have the gifts." No, no, everybody has it. They just need to learn, like riding a
Amen.
bike. You just need to learn how to you figure out, like, I think what God has told me is there are so many different modalities, so many different teachers, because not everything's gonna resonate with everybody, and not
Right.
everything. And I totally believe it. Like, I was just with somebody the other day, and I was like, "I love human design, but it's not resonating with me to go, like, be the expert of it," if that
Mhm,
makes sense. Because that's not what I feel is part of my purpose, but I love to learn about it.
mhm. Yeah, for sure. For sure. That the biggest thing for me is step from experiencing my worst fear
Yes.
has brought me to a place right here and right now that I am beyond grateful for
Yeah.
everything. I would do it all over again. Because now I'm able to step into my purpose. I have
Mhm.
a better communication, a better relationship with my son now in spirit than I did when he was in the body.
Yeah. I tell people that too. I said, say, it's not that your relationship has ended with your loved one. You're starting a new relationship. It's a new way of communicating with them. When my grandpa passed away, my mom and we were finding quarters everywhere. That was his sign because when
Mhm,
he was in the States, he would collect quarters. Like he would have
mhm,
quarter books. He would collect every state. I would, I never, ever, ever forget this. I was setting up a computer lab. I had to like put the wires like in the little flap
uh-huh,
like with the tables. And girl, I was at that table for like a good long time. I walked away and it came back. It was two quarters there.
yeah,
My mom finds quarters everywhere. I've told the story on the podcast, but I just have to tell you. So, my brother got engaged a few years ago,
uh,
and he asked me to, like, record her reaction. I said, "Okay, yeah, I'll go record." When we got back to the car, I already felt him the whole time. When we got back to the car, there was a penny, heads up, sitting right at his driver's seat. They said, "That's from grandpa."
yep,
Wait for it. I'm in the shower. I feel him, and I hear him. He says, "Call your brother right now and tell him to look at the year on the penny. Go
mhm.
tell him to look at the year on the penny." I was like, "I'm shampooing, like, finish?"
Right?
I'm like, "All right." Sure, I finish, I come downstairs, and my mom's like, "What?" And I'm like, "I have to call my brother." She's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Let me just get this through first."
Yeah,
And I said, "Do you have the penny? Because I told you to keep it." He said, "Yeah." I said, "You have to go look at the year on the penny because, grandpa's here, and he's telling me that you have to go look at it." It was the year my brother was born.
mhm,
And
yeah,
from then on, he's like, "Alright, I believe you now."
yeah, you can't make it up. You
You can't.
can't make it up. And like how Cavan brought it to me, he was like, "Mom, what?" This is his exact words. "Mom, what the hell are we doing?" And I was like, what are you talking about?" My nickname for him was Wody. I said, "Wody, what are you talking about?" He said, "Mom, what are you mourning?" I was like, "What?" He was like, "Mom, that's just the housing, it's just the body." He
Yeah.
said, "That's not me." And it's so true because what if death of the body is just an initiation for you to communicate in a different way than
Yes.
what you did when they were alive? Because
Yeah.
one thing about it, energy, and that's what a soul is that energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It only transforms. So tapping in to that energy, to that, and they're around you all the time, but you can't see it, so you don't believe it.
Right?
Start asking, communicating, or get with, you or I
Yeah.
that can really bring it in for you in such a way. I mean, I've have so many clients that it's just amazing the transformation in which they received
Mhm.
and the connection and communication from their teams. And it's just, it's one of those things that I get to pinch myself and say, wow, this is what I'm doing because before 2020, if you would have told me, Bethany, this is what you're going to be doing, I would have looked at you and told you, you have
Right?
lost your mind. You have lost your mind. But to see where I'm at now, books and, on walk the red carpet at the Los Angeles Film Festival, all of these things that I'm doing is just absolutely blowing me away. It just keeps on getting what more magical
Yeah.
than I could have ever done. I know that this is all divine guidance. I can
Yes.
bring onto planet now that I'm here to knock grief off this planet because once you connect in and know and sense and get to be able to connect with your crossover loved one, well,
Yeah.
you'll be like, well, what the hell was I grieving for? So I'm
Yeah.
here to knock that off. But that's in due time because believe me,
Yes, it
there's
does take time.
I still have my moments. I do because
Yeah. I think everybody does.
I will miss being able to put my arms around my son and to be able to smell his hair and, have that human connection with him. Yes. And it's so interesting because we just had Mother's Day. So
Yeah.
Let me tell you what happened. So Mother's Day, I was like, "Oh," I said, "Oh, Cavan, I sure do need you to show up and show out for mom today." I'm walking out of my garage and right as I get out from the garage, here comes a blue jay and it lands 3 feet in my field. Now, you know, if that bird was not there to share its energy, its frequency, its love, it would have landed on some other fence, on some other tree, in some
Yes.
other yard. It would not have landed that close to me. And girl, the what that bird shared with me is that is the best Mother's Day gift ever because I still get to carry that. I get so
Yeah.
excited. You can sense it and see it and feel it when I
Yeah,
talk about
I
it.
feel it, yeah.
I'm just like, you know, and that's what it's about. That's what it's about. You
And
know, I could
you
have
know
chose.
when something's a sign.
Yeah, I could have
Like, you
totally
just
chose.
feel it.
Yeah, I could have chose to spin out and be like, "Oh my god," totally in that crying. I don't get to
Yeah.
see my son for Mother's Day. Da, da, da. I could have totally chose that, but I chose something different so I could feel different, so I could experience a different possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's so beautiful. Working with spirits, so beautiful.
yeah.
So, I gotta wrap it up even though I feel like we could talk for, like, another hour. Uh, I always ask my guests, "What do you want listeners to walk away with from this conversation,
Yeah.
and where can people find you?"
Yeah. Great, great, great questions. Number 1, what I would like for them to walk away with is to know, to sense, to feel, to believe that they are the most powerful being in their life. They
Yeah.
are, th- if they choose to, they could choose to feel, sense, and get that to be the creator of the reality, but to operate from a place of love, to drop the judgment out of their life, the points of view, the better than, less than, not an, all of those lower frequencies, and start to choose themselves through compassion, through love, through and being grateful for every experience that they've had because it's brought them to their soul's growth right here, right now.
Beautiful. Where can people find you and your services?
They can go find me at B, like a bumblebee, belimitlessnow.com. They can hop on my schedule, get a free 30-minute frequency reset call where we go in and we start to look at and see how when working with people, I don't work with everybody because what I do
Yeah.
and my energy, it might not be conducive. It's a kind of a preliminary to see if we would be compatible of working together. That's number one. They can follow me on all of the social medias at Be Limitless Now. And yeah, and also, I would love for them to come and be a part of my colleague and the world-renowned Susan Schatzer. We host a free live event every second Wednesday of the month that we go in and we do free energy clearings. And so come and it's called secondwednesday.com. Come and just see what it would be like to be in a space of energy clearing. See what, because when we do one clearing on you and there's like 20, 30 people, you get to have the
Yes.
clearings of everybody else too. So, and come step into something different so you can have a different outcome. Yeah.
Beautiful, Bethany. Thank you so, so much. This was
Yes.
a beautiful conversation.
Well, thank you so much for everything that you're doing. Your energy is just as amazing, and I appreciate your time today.
Thank you so much. Lovely souls, have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day.